I'm Leslie Edwards Davis. I'm the Director of Benefits for the UAW UMASS Health and Welfare Trust Fund. And we have Emily Wegner here today. Emily, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, my name is Emily Wegner. I'm the manager of the eye care service located up in UHS right here on campus. We're up on the second floor of UHS. We have a sort of full service eye care department here. So we do routine eye exams, contact lenses. We have a full optical shop, as you can see behind me. We also do emergency eye care as well. So really anything eye related. You can just reach out to us directly, and you can find all our contact information on the UHS website.
Hi, Virve. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm so sorry I'm late. I had some weird problems this morning. My Zoom, I had to download it again and all that stuff. So I apologize profusely.
You're just in time. You're just in time. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I am Virve Moore. I am the National Account Manager for EyeMed, and some of you might have met me last week if you came to the in-person meeting. So I am the account manager. So I work with Leslie and help out with anything EyeMed.
Awesome. So I have some brief slides. Again, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A and we will address them when it makes sense to address them or at the end. We're here today to talk about the EyeMed Vision Plan that is in place for grad employees and postdocs at UMass. There may be some postdocs on the call with us, but the plan is the same for both groups. We've had EyeMed for many, many years. We're very happy with EyeMed. We have a long relationship with them. They're the largest vision insurer in the country, I think. Is that correct, Virve?
Yep, we are up there. We do have a pretty big competitor, but we like to think we are the biggest.
All right. So the most important thing is that you get enrolled in this plan, that you have the coverage and that you use it. So we want to cover all the basics about how that happens. So the basics are that you apply with the trust fund, that we confirm your eligibility and send you the confirmation email that has all of your plan information. Then you have the opportunity to register for an account on the EyeMed.com website. It's not required. It does open up a lot of information for you and it's helpful. Then you'll want to pick a provider. There are so many great in-network providers, including Emily's office on campus, which is the most convenient, and we love them, and they know our plan inside and out, and they really go the extra mile for our members. So we definitely suggest that that's a great provider for you to pick. But if you find yourself off campus or in another state, there are tons of providers nationwide for you to pick from as well. And then you'll just need to schedule your appointment and give your provider your plan information and use your benefits. This is what the online enrollment portal looks like. Most of you will have seen this at one time or another. If you're brand new and you haven't submitted your application yet, the deadline is September 15th. So definitely get to hwtrust.geouaw.org, fill out that application. It's very simple. Even if you don't have your SSN yet, you can fill out the application. Just get it in by the deadline and we will check your eligibility. And again, send you that confirmation email that looks like this. That email is really a treasure trove of information. It gives you all the links to find providers, look at your benefits in detail, download an ID card, all of those important things. So definitely keep that email, and if you delete it, we can send it to you again, but it is important. And then Virve, I'm gonna give this slide over to you. What will members be able to do once they register at EyeMed.com?
Well, everything will be in your fingertips. You'll be able to look at your eligibility, what your benefits are. You can find a provider. There's a provider locator there that is for you. And it's super easy to navigate. You can use a zip code close to your home, or like Leslie said, obviously the great provider to go to is right there on campus for you guys. But if you are traveling or whatever, you can find an in-network provider through the member web. Again, you also can look at your claim information. You can, like I said, I think you can even make online appointments there. There's directions, and I mean, everything is literally there. There's no before you go tool. If you want, there's a transparency tool that EyeMed launched a few years ago. That is a fantastic way to look and see how your benefits apply. What is your estimated out-of-pocket cost when your benefit is used? And there's great tools for you. And not only that, there's also fantastic articles about vision and wellness and overall health.
Yeah, one thing I like to point out about this, sometimes people will ask me if they are, in terms of the frequency of using their benefit, where they're at in their timeline. That's something that you can see if you register. So you'll be able to track exactly when your next available frames are to be covered. So definitely make use of the web registration that is available at EyeMed. There is a question I'm going to hold off until we get a little bit further into the presentation, but we will get that question. So picking the provider, again, we sort of touched on this already, but if you go to eyemed.com, at the top, there's a find a provider option. You put in your zip code and you pull up all the providers in that location. It's super simple. And there is also an option on the website for online only providers. So we don't want to forget that. If you're not into going to a brick and mortar location, there is a whole page of the EyeMed website devoted to the online providers that are considered in network.
Yeah, and let me quickly say who those are. And I don't know that we talked about it last week. And if we did, I think a lot of people had questions. So the online providers that are in network for you as an EyeMed member are lenscrafters.com, rayban.com, classes.com, targetoptical.com, and I think I'm forgetting one, contactsdirect.com. So those 5 online providers are in network as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to show folks where they can get to that. So this is the eyemed.com website. And I believe if you, if you scroll down, this is the way I get to it. Online options is in the list on the far bottom left. And this gives you the whole list and links to their pages. And then this is the find an eye doctor option at the top right. And let's just do a sample. So we're going to select our network, which is the select network. Let's do a zip code that's not familiar to us. So let's do one in a different state. And you'll see it will pull up a list of all of the providers that are in network. It's a mixture of big retailers and small optical shops, which is good. You have that choice. And it's helpful if you are in an unfamiliar place. You know that if you know Target Optical and you like them, you'll be able to go there. I'm going to stop sharing that right now. Let's check the questions because I know another one came in. Oh yeah, this is a good question, Vierbe or Emily. Can we use a prescription from a doctor in our home country to purchase glasses using the EyeMed insurance?
So I know for us, I mean, we get so many international students that typically we do take international prescriptions as long as the, sort of information is clear on the prescription and we can tell what the exam date was. But usually that's fine. You can always just bring it by our office and we can take a look just to verify it for you.
And I can say, I think nationally also in all other in network providers, they do accept that as well, as long as it's current.
But this is one of the reasons that I really highlight the eye clinic at UMass, because many providers out in the world won't be as familiar with the process of international students and what their prescriptions might look like. But our provider on campus is very familiar with that. So it would be very seamless in that case. All right, so let's take a moment to look at exactly how the plan works and what the benefits are. Virve, do you want to walk us through this first page?
Sure. I was muted, but now I'm not. So yes. So in network, obviously, if you look at the summary of benefits, on the left-hand side, you can see the different services. In-network member cost is in the middle of the page, and then out-of-network member reimbursement amounts are on the right. So in-network, when you go to an in-network provider, the exam, you pay $10 copay for the exam. Retinal imaging, you have option for that if you do not want to be dilated, and the doctor you're going to have retinal imaging available. You can pay a $39 copay to have that done. Emily, at your office, do you have that option?
We don't do it here just because of our sort of age population and the added cost. It doesn't really fit our population as well.
Right. And it's not, you know, like I said, it's not always available everywhere. And that I just wanted to check and see if that is something that you guys offer. Yep. So, and then contact lens fit and follow up. There are different options. There are different fitting fees. Anytime that you get in contact lens exam, it's a little bit different from just the regular glasses exam. So there are additional costs for that. It depends, and that is something that the provider actually dictates as far as what those costs are. Frame, what's great this year, you have additional money towards a frame allowance. So the frame allowance is $175. And that is fantastic news. So with that, you are saving even more money out of pocket. So that is great always to be able to offer those types of enhancements. Hold on, I have something in front of my screen here. Single vision, then we're moving to the lenses. Single vision, bifocal, trifocal, different lenses in network have copays, and that is for those three, it is a $10 copay. Also lenticular lenses is in that same category. Standard progressive is as well $10. Hold on, I don't see. Leslie, can you move it up a little bit maybe? Hold on, so that I can see the screen better.
Sorry, instead I just
that's okay. All right, I can see, yep, I can see better now. Okay, so standard progressive lenses, $10 copay. Then for premium, there's different types of premium progressive lenses. So depending on what type is recommended for you, there are different costs as far as what the copays are. And then lens options. So again, there's smaller copays for different types of lenses. Anti-reflective coatings are priced differently depending if it's standard or premium. And then what else do we have here? Anything photochromic, photochromic lenses. We know those as transition lenses. A lot of people think of transition lenses, that is a brand name, but the photochromic is the right word for that. So those are also part of the plan. Looks like 20% off retail price there. Lens types, polycarbonate lenses, there's a $40 copay. Scratch coating, tint, UV treatment, those also have a small copay there. And again, this provider is somebody who navigates this for you as far as what those different copays are for different types of lenses that they offer and what they recommend. So, you know, they do a really, in network, they do a really great job really showing what the final cost will be for you. And then when in contact lenses, again, there's $150 allowance there. Again, conventional and disposable, the allowance is the same. Medically necessary contacts are fully paid if you need those, which is a fantastic benefit there. And then we also offer and partner with Amplifon for hearing aids, LASIK if you're interested in LASIK. We also partner with LASIK providers. The cost for LASIK in network is 15% off retail, or if they, let's say they're running a promotional price, and you still get an additional 5% off that promotional price. So they always will price it whatever is the best deal for you. And again, if we look at the frequencies are exam, frame, lenses, and contact lenses. You are entitled to this every 12 months after the data service. So basically, let's say you went to get your eye exam and your materials on November 15th, you will be again eligible November 15th the following year. Anything else you want to add, or we want to talk through a little more here?
I just wanted to point out that some plans require you to alternate years. And so we wanted to make sure that you could get contacts and glasses in the same 12-month period. So that is something fairly unique. There is a question about sunglasses, and we get this question a lot.
Yeah.
So would one of you like to address how sunglasses work?
I'm happy to go ahead, but and Vervik, correct me if I say anything wrong, but if you're getting non-prescription sunglasses, then it would just be a 20% discount with your EyeMed ticket. If you're getting prescription sunglasses, then the discounted pricing and the copays in your full benefit would apply. There's just a copay for the lens tinting then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And another question, is the coverage for vision and dental a total of $2,250? Okay, so the $2,250 is just relevant to the dental plan. That's the maximum that the dental plan will pay out for you. The vision plan works on an allowance basis, totally separate, and again has the $175 allowance toward the purchase of frames, $150 allowance toward the purchase of contacts. So completely separate from that dental plan year maximum. And for registering on the EyeMed site, what number do we use? That's a good question because it's different than the dental plan. So the vision plan uses your social security number. You can also use your unique EyeMed ID number, but you have to log in to get that in the first place. You could contact us for it, but you can use your SSN to register on the site. So this is new this year. We wanted to beef up our vision plan, even though it's already a very robust plan. We did that by adding to the frame allowance this year and also by adding a diabetic care package. Vera, do you want to give us just the highlights of this package?
Sure. So basically, let's say, if anyone is diagnosed with type 1 or type 2 diabetes, those members are entitled to 2 eye exams. So every 6 months, they can go get an eye exam, and that is fully covered with this plan.
That's great. All right, so I want to highlight some of the extra discounts. We did already cover a couple. We covered the non-prescription sunglasses, but if you purchase a second pair of prescription glasses after the first one, which was covered by your allowances, you do get 40% off. Mm-hmm. And when you use your allowance, the balance above that is discounted by 20%. So just some extras that save you some money. And then there are a couple of extras that you can choose to use. So there's the Contacts Direct booster, where if you order from Contacts Direct, you get an extra $20 off. And then there's the Target frame option, which is pretty great. Basically any frame in Target is $0 out of pocket for our members. So if you are abroad out in the US somewhere else and use a big real retailer for your glasses, that's an extra little perk that you would get at Target. So your benefits are flexible. You can use them online, like we already discussed. You can use them nationwide. You can use them out of network if you need to, and you can get glasses and contacts in the same 12 months. We do try to make it as flexible as possible because grad students can be in other states doing field work. They can be super busy during the semester and only have like time in the breaks to use their coverage. So we try to make it easy and accessible. This plan is free for all working grad employees who are working at least 10 hours a week in one semester. It's free for their families, so that includes spouse, partner, and children. Again, it can be used on or off campus, works on that point of service basis. Like Virve said, if you use it tomorrow, you'll again be eligible for it next September 8th. And then the last screen is just your relevant group number, member ID information, customer service number, website, and your network. So you might need some of these. It's great to have this on your phone if you're going to the vision provider for the first time. We will share these slides with everyone who registered after the fact, so you'll have it as a slide as well. So any questions that we could answer? We don't have any active questions in the Q&A. Anything that the panelists thought of that we might have neglected?
I guess I just want to add, just for grad students making appointments, is that we are by appointment still at UHS for any services, like including glasses repairs and things like that. So just to call ahead before you come in.
Great, great. Any common scenarios that either of you see that would be helpful to explore with folks? I don't know if, I know that you see a lot of sort of repeat scenarios probably that might be helpful to highlight.
Yeah, I would say particularly for our international population, just that in order to buy contact lenses in the US, you do need a written prescription for like a particular brand of contact lenses. So a lot of international students come in without having that information. So typically we'll just start by doing another exam and, you know, fitting them for contact lenses here, just so they have that written prescription. But
and that would just be the $10 copay for the exam.
Usually it's the $10 plus the contact lens.
Right. I mean, just to get the prescription, get
that
that
would be for the glasses.
prescription.
Yeah.
One thing that I have been seeing, and I just want to highlight it for folks, is there is some confusion sometimes with the different plans that you have. You have 3 plans in place if you're a typical grad student employee. So you have your student health plan, you have your dental plan, and your vision plan. They're all separate. They all have separate ID numbers, separate group numbers. And sometimes I will see that a grad employee will try to go off campus to a provider and give them their Cigna Wellfleet card. That's your health insurance card. And if a provider isn't sort of savvy and knows the UMASS situation, they will say, oh, you don't have vision coverage, you have to pay out of pocket. And I've seen people pay out of pocket and then have to get reimbursed. So save yourself some trouble. Just know that when you're going to the vision provider, you need to give them your EyeMed information. If you need that information, we can get it to you. Just avoid the Cigna Wellfleet card when you're at the vision provider. And that's, again, one highlight of the UMass office. They know your different coverages and they're going to apply the right one. All right, lots of questions. Sorry, go ahead, Virve.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, and we talked about like what we can do once you register on EyeMed.com and what's there for you. So definitely, there is an ID card there. You will not need an ID card as an IMED member to receive to receive services. They can find you if you go to an in-network provider. They can find you with your name and date of birth if you are enrolled. So, but a lot of people like ID cards, and I think sometimes it makes it very clear, you know, when you have it and all the information that you provide at the time that you're at the provider's office. I think it keeps it clear. So it is there. You can download it from there. You can also download the EyeMed app, which is a fantastic tool to always have your ID card with just a shake of your phone. It's always there. What's also great is all the special offers, because there's a lot of special offers that are even on top of your benefit that some of our in-network providers offer. You know, those are there. So you can always see if there's a way for you to save even more money out of pocket. So, but the ID card, like Leslie said, it does keep it, you know, very clean and clear, and, you know, you avoid a lot of confusion that way.
Thank you. Okay, we have a lot of questions. So, can I change only my lens instead of frame plus lens, and will it be covered?
So the short answer is yes, though usually the optician will work with you and sort of go over some of the maybe cons to that, or will work with you just to make sure the frame is in good enough condition, that they feel like they wouldn't be damaging the frame by putting new lenses in it. So I think it's on a case-by-case basis, but the optician would be able to work that through with you.
Yeah, and that is completely true. And a lot of times, but you do have that $175 to use for a new frame every year.
Yeah.
So there really isn't a need, like if it was every other year and your prescription changes, I could see where that could be a choice to do, just replacing the lenses. But since you guys have this annual frame allowance, why not get a new pair, you know? So that's just my 2 cents.
Yes, the disadvantage is if something happens to the frame and you can't get parts for the frame, that now you've used your lens benefit and you'd have to pay for new lenses out of pocket or at a 20% discount if something happened to the frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Do spouses need to create their own separate account on the EyeMed website?
Yep, they do. Anybody who your dependent who is 18 years or older would need to have their own account. You will not be able to see, only if you have children that are under 18, you'll be able to see their information and their eligibility and benefits and so forth. But anybody over 18 would need to create their own account.
Great. Can we claim the amount in different currency? So someone went out of network, they are submitting an out of network claim in this scenario, I guess, and it's in a different, so it's in a different currency from USD.
I think so. I think, yeah, I mean, internationally, it's say there's some type of, you know, as long as during that time that purchase was made, you were enrolled into the EyeMed benefit. And let's say it was an, yeah, I would have to like really see the details to be able to answer that better, I think.
I think that I've seen it happen before. I think that sometimes there's a request for more information when it is an out of country receipt, but I've definitely seen it happen before. I'm going to put in the chat the link for out of network reimbursements. So this is on the front page of our website if you need to find it in the future. But basically, you would only use this if you went to an out-of-network provider, which would be the case if you bought glasses outside the country, and you submit some basic information and your receipt. And then if they need additional information, they will follow up with you.
Yeah.
What would be my ID number if I don't have an SSN yet? So We are just now starting to process the folks who don't have, sorry, I sent that to not everyone. There you go. Thank you, Alyssa. We're just now starting to process the folks who don't have an SSN. It's a little bit different between the two plans, but we basically assign a temporary ID to you and then update it once you have your SSN. So we're going to reach out to each one of you individually and let you know what to use while you're waiting for that SSN. This is actually the first year where we've been able to do that because the dental plan wouldn't let us in the past, but our new dental plan will allow that. And so we're going to be able to do it for both plans this year, but we're still doing it on a individual by individual basis. So we'll be reaching out to you and get you enrolled. You will need to contact us eventually with the SSN, but I know that this year in particular, there have been a lot of delays. So we don't want people to not be able to use their benefit with that during that period. So we will work with you. Which plan is the one that uses the 4-digit user ID in our dashboard? So that is actually specific to Calm, the Calm app. The Calm app needs that user ID to verify that you're with our group. So it's not actually relevant to the vision plan or the dental plan. Just to cover that, what we said earlier in the session is that your ID number is either your SSN for EyeMed or the unique number that they assign to you, which we can also give you if you need access to that number. Typically people will just use the SSN, and at providers, they typically can find you without the SSN, just with your name and date of birth and our group number. So sunglasses, again, let's do it again because it's probably the #1 question we get. So let's answer the sunglasses question again.
Irvin, do you want to answer it this time, or do you want me to go ahead?
Sure. So sunglasses, anything. So if you have a prescription and you want to purchase prescription sunglasses, those will be covered fully under the plan, just as they would be if they were just regular glasses. So you have your frame allowance and your allowance for the lenses to use for that. Now, if it is a plain old sunglass with no prescription at all, and you just you need a pair of sunglasses, those would be 20% off for you. And that's the EyeMed that's the EyeMed discount for just plain sunglasses. And then what's great though, here's another really good scenario. Let's say you have prescription, you want a prescription sunglasses, and but you also need glasses. So let's say you use your benefits for the glasses, but then you want a second pair that is your prescription sunglasses, then you are entitled to that 40% off discount for the additional pair.
All right, thank you everyone. Thanks for attending. We'll reach out to you if you are one of the gift card winners. Thanks again to our panelists. Have a great day, everyone.